as part of our partnership with the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, we're pleased to welcome in Mike Reagan, the head coach and GM of the Flin Flon Bombers. It's been a while. Bombers are just tearing it up and awaiting the SJHL Playoffs. The Kentera seeds SJHL Playoffs. Bombers 44-7, 2-1. Mike, welcome to the program, sir. What are you guys getting up to on a day off in Flin Flon for your hockey team today?
Hey, Rod. Thanks for having me. We just actually finished up practice here, so the guys are, got the work schedule and going to school and stuff like that this afternoon. And then my assistant and I are, going to dive into, what's coming up here for us.
I guess I shouldn't say a day off. A day without a game. How about that? But I flew through that record, 44-7, 2-1. I follow the SJ pretty closely. This is by far the best record on your watch, and I would think in franchise history. Mike, how would you describe this season for your hockey club?
Yeah, it's been a great year. As of late, we probably haven't been playing our best hockey. I think that we've dropped 6 games here since Christmas time, and before that we had only dropped 1. I think that we've been in a tough position just with locking up first here for over a month now, and that sort of thing, and we don't have that dog nipping at our heels. So the guys have been working hard and that sort of thing, and this is the first time we've gone through some adversity and that sort of thing, but I think that's going to be a good thing for us in the playoffs here. So back in 2001 when the Bombers hosted the Royal Bank Cup, they had 44 wins that year, and so we've tied that SJHL record here, and we're hoping here in the last 2 games that we can get that 45th and hold that record with this current team.
Better, as you well know, you know this better than me, better to go through the adversity now than in the playoffs. And you mentioned you don't have the people nipping at your heels right now. What about this? You've been getting the opposition's best game every night. They're probably tired of hearing about the Flin Flon Bombers, #1 all year in the rankings, man. Has that been a fact? And if that's the case, what have your guys learned from that experience?
Yeah, there's no question we've had that target on our backs, and but I think that's a good thing. Are we at our best every night? No, but it's forced us to try to elevate our game as well, and you can definitely tell that when a team has beat us that they definitely show that emotion, and it's not fun being on the receiving end of those losses and that, but I think it's good for our group, and like you said, you want to face that adversity now rather than in the playoffs. And, I think I've been doing this a long time, and I know that adversity can be good for you at some point. And, hopefully this has been, that little shot to the ego that we needed. And the last 2 games we've played a lot better. So I've been pretty happy with the effort, and the guys understand that we got to put the work in here. And, with only 2 games remaining here, we want to make sure that we're heading into the playoffs feeling confident.
Well, and let's remember something, too. You've had some bitter endings in the playoffs the last few years. So once that puck drops for the playoffs, it's a brand new year, and it starts all over, right? Like, I'm sure you just can't wait to get the playoffs going. You got enough guys hanging around for the last 2 years that they haven't forgotten that.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that those 4 guys that were a part of the Centennial Cup in Estevan, they're extremely hungry. We've had our heart broken 2 years in a row here, so we know what that feeling's like. And the new guys that we brought in here are extremely competitive and have that will to win. And the one thing I like about this group is it's an extremely competitive group. Our practices are hard. They go up against each other and compete. And there's been times where I've had to actually end practice a little bit earlier because I'm scared of someone getting hurt just from the competitiveness. But you love that as a coach. They push each other to be better every day. And I think this is a special group. But in saying that, like you said, the playoffs is a whole new beast, and one of the things we've been preaching to the guys is trying to get in that playoff mode. And I feel like the last couple games we've been getting there, but there's always room for improvement.
Well, I tell you something. People may be surprised that I have these conversations with people, but here's one I had recently with my buddies in Estevan. They said, we're the furthest south team. Flin Flon's the furthest north, and we freaking hate each other. How is that? And I'm like, well, I got to think it's the playoff meetings, man. Are the Estevan Bruins your number one rival, or do you have a lot of rivals? That's just the way that it is. Because I think you're theirs.
Well, I think that a lot has gone into that. I think that the 7-game series, in the finals there 2 years ago, definitely brought out the best and maybe the worst in both communities and that sort of thing. So I think it stems from that. And then, last year we played a 7-game series as well, and fortunately for us, the Whitney form created a bounce for us that was a tough goal. Definitely for Cam Hrdlicka to have go in on him. He was sensational in that series, and it was kind of a weird feeling because I was so happy that it went in, but I really felt bad for him because he had played terrific and that sort of thing. But we were moving on and that sort of thing. So I think they're two hockey communities that just are very passionate about their teams. I think it's great for the SJHL. I really do. To have those rivalries and that sort of thing. I do believe that we have a lot of rivals. I don't know if it's just we're Northern boys and nobody likes the Northern boys or what it is, but teams seem to get up for playing against us and that sort of thing. But we've had some good teams here, so if there's that hatred towards your team, I think you're doing something right.
Buddy, that is a fact. And I spent a long time with two teams, the Rough Riders and the Pats, and everybody hated us. And the answer to that is keep doing what you're doing. We got to ask you about just Jeff Egan's kid, Matt Egan. Been following that story, obviously, and I understand he's come back and he's playing great. Kid that got a cancer diagnosis at Christmas, had surgery and returned playing not that long after. I understand he's playing great. What update can you give us on Matt?
Yeah, he's obviously a scary situation. I got that call at Christmas time from him, and he had just actually the last game before Christmas, he got a 6-game suspension, and then he gets this news, and it was tough to get that phone call, and obviously tougher for him. But the entire hockey community has supported him tremendously. He's done really well after the surgery, and he just scored 2 goals the other night, 2 big goals for us, and he's playing terrific. He's a guy that came to this organization not really knowing a lot about the Bombers and that sort of thing. And we're extremely proud of him. He's grown a lot as an individual. And I think that his experience being here has helped him in, this battle. But his spirits are great. His teammates fully support him. Yourself and numerous other people that follow the sport have reached out to him and been so supportive. So, I think it's great that the hockey community's rallied around him, and he's doing great. He's got great spirits and playing real well and playing like a Bomber. So we're real proud of him and on how he's handled this. And we knew that he's the type of kid that could deal with something like this and beat it.
Good to hear. Good to hear, man. I will just say this. Your guy, Rockin' Rob, your radio guy, wants to get on this show. I can't say it any other way than that. Can you set it up for him? Can you set up your phone for Rockin' Rob and we'll get him on? I think he's got some technological issues, Mike. I want him on. But if we can do it like you just did it, can you give him a hand with that?
100%. I mean, the other day he was on SJ at noon, and he was supposed to come down here and have this exact setup, sit right here. But I think that Rob's a little bit old school, and as you know, and that sort of thing. So we definitely, if you want him on the show, I'll make sure that he's sitting in this seat and's got this view here. So we'll do anything for you to get him on.
LFG.
We've been friends since 1993. Well, we've known each other. Friends, I don't know. But I was driving between Tallahassee and Pensacola, and he called me, and he said, how do I get on your show? So, Mike, we got to make it happen. Good luck the rest of the way. As you can see, I'm following it very closely, and hopefully we can do it here in the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks very much. I appreciate it.
Head coach and general manager of the SJHL's Flin Flon Bombers, Mike Reagan.